Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. We've been saying and singing this song that South Africa is a mafia state. A prisoner dies, and 2 months later, a prisoner is seen at Sandton City doing shopping in Woolworths. And you have to wonder yourself that what kind of country is this? How does someone who has been declared dead in a cell there by Mangaung Correctional Service that is privately owned by G4S. That person dies, and then 2 months later he's been seen in Woolworths, Sandton City. I mean, where on earth does this thing happen? Only on Netflix do you see such a thing. Now, people have to give props to the Grounds Up News because they're the ones who followed up this story. When mainstream medias were just taking the story of that this guy is dead, guys followed up this story until to a point where in March this year, the news broke that actually the correctional service are confirming that the guy is not dead. You wonder, Ronald Lamola is a minister, and all this information, how does this guy die and then go up and live again? Now here's the most interesting part. The guy went by the name of Tom Motsepe. He was in prison. He made a video call to people. They were hosting a function that was under him. Apparently, he lied that he stays in New York. His name is Tom Motsepe. And then he ran these companies, these two companies. Actually, he even faked the logos of this company because I think the other one was Disney in America, and then the other one was Sky News. He even used the logos. He just changes a few things on the logos. So he came up with this thing of women in power. And then I remember there was Taraji P, there was Halle Berry. He said that there were going to be some famous speakers there in Sandton. And then people were charged around 1,200 to attend this function. So this guy, he gets called a video call in prison. He wears a watch, nice suit. He is in prison, and on the background is the wall of the prison wall, the prison cell. You can see that this is a wall, and this guy, they are wishing him happy birthday. This Tom Motsepe, who is related to Patrice Motsepe. I mean, what kind of person comes up with this idea? And you wonder, the people who are there at the function looking him at the screen, do they not maybe question themselves, what kind of setup is this? So this is the kind of person that Thabo Bester was, and it's extremely disappointing that there is a beautiful doctor who goes by the name, I can't give the full name, Dr. Nandipa. Apparently she's an anesthetic doctor. Beautiful woman who has a beautiful career, and who's doing these beautiful things. And the allegations are that she helped this guy escape, and actually she's the one who claimed the body of this guy, saying that we were married. So she claimed the body, and after claiming the body, there was this court cases about the fact that you can't claim this person, and she said, I know this. Even the mother, they took the DNA test of the mother, and then it came out that the mother is not related to that dead body. But this lady ended up taking this body and burying it herself. That was the end of the whole inquest about who killed who and how did this guy died. The story just died down. And 2 months later, this guy has been seen in Sandton with the same lady that picked up the body of this guy and say, I'll bury this guy. Now the question is, who died at that cell? Because here's the guy who's alive. I mean, people have phones. People will notice you all around. So they took a picture of this guy, and we only know about it this year. And it's quite interesting that there was a prison warder there by Mangaung who wrote an email to the correctional service, the guy at the top, to say that the managers, this guy called Thabo Bester is not dead. He's giving a full story of what happened, and they transferred this guy from Mangaung to another place because you are becoming a smart ass. You want to bring this thing that we've buried alive again, so they transfer him. Which tells us that actually this is not about Thabo Bester and this useless doctor who helped this guy escape, allegedly. So now, this is about the inside job. You know what happens with the prison guard? They get money. They will help you do everything. I mean, to even fake the death of this guy, they probably went to the mortuary and got a dead body, put it there, and started a fire and said, oh, the guy is dead. He went out to live. Now, let's go back to the crimes of this guy. So, as we know, this guy was arrested in 2012, and the crimes that he did involves stealing, defrauding people, deceiving models. He had models, many women who wanted to be models for international brands. He had to gather them around through Facebook and emails to say that we have this company that can offer you these deals where you can be a supermodel. And when he got all these women together to go to shoot, he would just steal all their belongings, their cell phones, everything, and even the equipment that are used, that were hired to do the photo shoot. The guy would escape with those things, sell them maybe for money and all these things. But one of the things that he managed to do was that while sleeping with these models, these beautiful young ladies, he decided that he's helping them and he's luring them with these fancy promises, and he ended up sleeping with most of them, dating them because of lying to them. As you know, most people want better lives. You lie to them, they think, okay, this guy has everything. And then he slept with them. We can just call it rape because they never understood what was going on. This guy was just deceiving them. Unfortunately, there was only one female who died from all these things. He killed him, stabbed her at a lodge there by Cape Town. So those are the crimes that he was doing. Sexual harassment, murder, these are the crimes. But this guy is a pathological liar. This guy was lying each and every time. He lied for a living. I mean, they arrested him and he spoke about the fact that he blames the death of the grandmother for the crimes that he does. And he was raped as a young boy. Can you believe such a guy? The guy who can lie and get all these ladies through Facebook. How can you believe such a guy? So the guy used up to 13 names. So he's been lying for a living. He's been using all these names. And you wonder, how does this guy get away with all this thing? Because he had a case before this where he was arrested. And in 2011, he got parole. So it is not the first time. And he was arrested for this thing of deceiving people and defrauding people. So it is not the first time. How does a guy who was arrested and got parole in 2011, how does this same guy continue doing all these terrible things and he is not noticed? That is one of the things that as people of South Africa, we have to wonder that the justice system, the correctional service, how do they deal with such a thing? So, as we know, he was arrested in 2012 at Alberton, Gauteng. That's where they captured this guy finally for his crimes, and he had to face it and make sure that he remains in jail for the rest of his life. I wish they could have just took him somewhere where solitary confinement, where he never gets out for the rest of his life. But you know what happens in South Africa? You have money, they let you get out. So out of all these things, we are on Twitter, we are just looking at tweets, and there is this lady who comes up and say, I'm a victim of this guy. This guy did all these things, I dated him. And few more girls come and say that, well, me too, this is what happened to me. And that is when the media, the mainstream media, started taking this story forward, saying that, well, there's something here. And they invite the correctional service guys, even Ronald Lamola, who confirmed that the guy is not dead. Reports are that he had places, he was renting places, expensive places all around the Gauteng. And while renting this, he's working with this partner in crime, partner in love, whatever that is. I mean, you wonder yourself, what kind of woman has so much feelings for a con artist if herself is not a con artist also? So they run all these businesses since he came out. He goes back to the people that he once slept with, he once lied to, he once used. The same as the lady who reported this thing. He goes back to them, chasing after them, pretending to be a different person, going via Instagram, Facebook, still trying to get the attention of these people. Okay, we applaud you, Mr. Thabo Bester. You managed to fake your death. So what happens after you fake your death? Instead of just living under the rock, the guy decides to go around. He has threats, starts changing his look a bit, but you can change your look. But that God-given face will never change. So he got posted and they found out about him. The main reason for the video is that to question how does South Africa work? How does the legal system of South Africa work? What kind of country are we in as South African where someone who was declared dead can come out alive and continue living? Only when it's questioned, they start deploying police and investigators say that we are looking for this person. The question is all along, where were you? Where were you when this guy escaped? Were you part of this plan? Were the guys at the top part of this plan? Because now we see that this guy is alive. A dead body was taken there from the mortuary and burned. And it was confirmed that that is the guy, Thabo Bester. But now that is not the real story. The real story is that this guy never went underground and died. This guy is still alive. Who takes the blame at such a thing? The whole corrupt correctional service must take the blame. And if South Africa was serious about rooting out corruption and crime in South Africa, Ramaphosa would send the high people there at the Mangaung Correctional Service, do some proper investigation, clean out each and every person who was involved, even if they were not involved in this case, who was involved in all these corruption cases in prison, and go around all these prisons and do the same thing. Because the story is that someone could be arrested in prison, they go out at night, go and commit a murder, just like the Senzo Meyiwa case, go back in prison because they are paid to do so. They have cell phones in prison. They have computer. They have access to each and everything, even money. How are we going to deal with such a problem, South Africa? Because by the look of this thing, we are a shame. And for Thabo Bester, my man, enjoy it while it lasts. You just have a few more days. I wish there was that thing of hanging people. We were going to start with this guy because this one deserves to die for the second time. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching and tuning into the channel. Until next time. Cheers.